Well, here we are, Matthew. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Matt Farber, and we just thought, what the heck? It's a new week. We just celebrated Easter together, and we thought that we would start our own show here on Inside Bowling. The Inside Bowling Show is what we're calling it. Matt, how you doing today, man?
Doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm excited. I'm excited to bring some entertainment and some action to the bowling world. Everybody knows that we need it right now. A little bit of a slowdown in the action lately, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you want to talk about bowling, and I want to talk about everything else. So this should go really well for the
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good combination of balancing just life and the sport of bowling out together. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're doing this for a couple of reasons, right? So we decided we would come live because we've been live streaming for over 10 years. Inside Bowling we've been doing that for 10 years. And we've been seeing all these other people go live all over the internet that are bowlers. And we're like, we need to do this. I mean, it just makes a whole lot of sense, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And like, I've been trying to do this for how long now, Matt? How many times have I asked you to get on a stream with me? And we were going to try to attempt to do this.
It took us about, we went through about, I don't know, 10 test calls, about 2 weeks of testing to try to get this done. And couldn't figure it out. Trying to use all these fancy techie platforms with external mics and cameras and lights and can never get it to work.
And then in comes Stu Barnes, or Stu Williams, and the man Chris Barnes. I like to call him Stu Barnes.
Stu Barnes, yeah, they're
or Chris Williams. But anyway, and then they just come on and they start doing this. So I had to figure out what the platform was, and they've been doing some awesome shows. And I thought, we should do something over here on Inside Bowling. And I think it's important as we get started with this. I called this one the beginning. It's episode 1. I'm testing this mic I got. Does it sound okay, Matt?
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I'm testing this external mic too. We're working through things, guys. We're working through things.
I really don't even know what we're doing with this show. Obviously, most of the time when I'm broadcasting, there's bowling going on in front of me, and I'm able to tell you what's happening or whatever. But we thought we would come on here. We would talk about things that are going on in bowling. We'll interact with you in the chat, of course. Donald Semino is already with us here today.
Oh yeah, he was keeping us honest here. Where are they? We were a couple minutes late. More technical difficulties. We can't even get our stuff together.
First show. And the other thing we wanted to do also is this is an opportunity for us to promote our platform, InsideBowling.com, where we have a bunch of apparel. I'm wearing one of the shirts here today, Bowl to the Future. We do a bunch of cool retro pop culture branded bowling shirts. So we'd love for you to hop on there. You can save 15% with coupon code MF2. And the reason why it's MF2, it's very, very difficult to figure out that coupon code.
Very.
I'm MF, and that's little MF over there. So that's how we come up with that.
Very complex stuff over here.
And it isn't just going to be you and I.
No.
I'm efforting to get guests. I do know a few people in the bowling world, a couple. Hopefully that will join us. And you do as well, Matt. But I want to introduce everybody to Matt Farber here. If you don't know him, he's kind of new, I guess, to this channel, but he's not new to bowling. The guy's got more followers than I do. He's well-renowned in bowling. He's a bowling coach. He's a motivational speaker, so to speak, or an aspiring one. He wants to do a TED Talk one day, and he really knows what he's talking about in bowling. He's got his shit together for a young guy. So, Matt, tell everybody about this daily thing that you do. You have an email list, and you have a motivational message every day. And let's go ahead. Let's get that going today. I think we need some motivation today.
Yeah, I think one of the things, Mike and I started working together in October, not October, in July of last year. Junior Gold was the first time that we worked together. And even though we only worked together for 10 days, one of the things that I really took away from working with Mike was, like the ability to execute. And that had been something that I struggled with for a long time was like, I launched this podcast and I recorded like 10 episodes and then I released like 5 of them and I never released one after that. And I've still got like 5 or 6 episodes that I'm just sitting on. I never released. And I started to get into this, really positive mindset and trying to inspire and help other people. So at the end of last year, at the end of 2019, I was like, wouldn't it be cool to test myself and to push myself to try to show myself how I can really learn to execute consistently. And that's been something that I've been learning after, working with Mike over the past 4, 5, 6 months. And so I said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a positive email to whoever wants it every single day for the entire year of 2020. And I thought that that'd be a really cool way to not only help inspire and motivate other people, but to test myself and to challenge myself to send something every single day consistently, have it go out at the same time every single day. And it's just been a really cool experience. There's some nights where I don't want to write the email. I schedule the email the night before, and there are some times where I don't want to write the email. Like there are sometimes I leave it to not, to late at night, and I don't want to write it, but I know that I have to. And that's just part of the experience that it's bringing me. So today's message was, stop judging yourself. No one in this world is perfect, and you sure don't have to be. And I think that that's a great message to start off, because you, Mike, tend to be one of the biggest perfectionists that I've ever met in my entire life. And there you can take the smallest, simplest tasks and you have to make it perfect. And I idolize that. And I think that that's really incredible. And I also think that at times in bowling in life, we tend to just try to be too perfect with things. So that's today's message. Today's day 104, day 104 already.
Yeah,
104.
Day doing this?
What's that?
This is your 104th day doing this?
104th day straight of doing this.
So if somebody wanted to get part of this, how do they sign up to get the daily?
So yeah, you can send me a message on Facebook. My name is Matthew Farber on Facebook. You can send me a message with your email. You can send me a message on Twitter, on Instagram. You can really just reach out to me and just let me know that you want to be a part of that list, and I'll throw you on that list. And you'll get those emails every single morning. A little daily inspiration.
Excellent. If you comment on Facebook or YouTube, because we're simulcasting here today, you can get we'll answer your questions for you throughout the stream today. We don't know how long we're going to be on for. This is our initial launch of this right here. Make sure you sign up for Matt's email list. Get that motivational message every day. We're going to share that motivational message on every single one of these that we do. We're planning on going live Monday through Friday. Our time slot's going to be 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Mountain, where I'm at. I'm in Utah. Matt's in New York. So that's kind of how we're going to do this. But Charles Cox says my video looks better today. And the reason why Charles knows this is because last night we tested this platform.
Yeah.
And I was having some major issues last night with my video quality. And I appreciate Charles checking that out. Let's see what we got. Feeding Frenzy's always on the looks like here's the other cool thing. We might as well let everybody know right now.
Oh yeah.
That Matt and I are producing this show together. We both have access to the controls. And what just happened right there is both of us clicked on a comment at the same time. So we're probably going to do those sorts of things quite often here as we figure out this platform. But how awesome is it that we can even do this? So
yeah, and unfortunately, Mike, for you, a guy that's had a decade of experience live streaming, Chris Barnes and Stu Williams figured it out before you did. And I don't think that's going to be something I ever let you live down. This guy's he's got the hanging mic in front of him. He's got all the gadgets. He's got all the gizmos, and he's got all the experience. And here come Chris Barnes and Stu Williams, and they run a really cool PBA mock draft and just knock it out of the park. And they continue to knock it out of the park every day. And put you to shame, really, honestly.
Today they have Brad and Kyle on today, and their show is at 3 o'clock Central, I believe, every day, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Feeding Frenzy, that comment was up. He's always watching our live streams on YouTube. Thanks to Feeding Frenzy today joining us, and Andrew Orff from McKendree.
You did a cool video with the Orffs, right? You that's something on the Inside Bowling YouTube channel is the cool history of bowling balls video. The Orffs have a tremendous
3 parts.
3-part. It was awesome. And I wasn't a part of anything back then. It was really cool to watch. 3-part series taking you through the history of bowling balls. They have an incredible collection of equipment that's just really cool to see. So feel free to go check that out.
Yeah, why don't you throw Scott's comment up there, and I think we can kind of dig into the biggest.
Let's get into the real things here.
We should talk about probably, which is Scott Hunick. I believe he's still in Minnesota. Asked the question, Mike, do you think striking out breast cancer, the Lucy event, will still go on as planned? And so, I appreciate the question very, very much, Scott. And I'd love to be able to sit here and tell everybody today, hey, you guys want to know when the tour is starting back up? Well, here's the date. You want to know when this is starting back up?
Yep.
Here's the date. And I know everybody just wants to know because everybody's chomping at the bit to get back out on the lanes. I guess what I can do is I can give my best educated guess because I've been tracking this obviously because as Matt knows, and Matt works with me at Inside Bowling, we do a lot of work behind the scenes that we really don't tell people about. We work with a lot of different big companies and the big lettered companies in bowling. So I think the thing that we can do is we can shed some light on just kind of some of the things that we're hearing, but all of this is completely unofficial and just
Yeah.
our opinion of what
Right.
we think is going to happen. So
Right.
Matt, if you could bring up our monitor here that I have here
Yep.
in front of us. Let's see if we can figure
Let's
this
throw
out.
this up here. Boom.
There we go. So, and let's get rid of
Yep.
Scott's question to give a little more viewership. Excellent. Look at Matt producing over there. This is great.
Yeah, it's just easy. The StreamYard makes it so easy. Not
So
really me.
so I'm over here and this is the worldometer.info is the source, okay? And this is a great website and tool to be able to see how many cases there have been with coronavirus. So if we click by countries here, let's do that. It shows you all of the cases throughout the world with coronavirus. And this is how I make an educated guess to answer a question like what Scott just had right here. Matt, have you seen this website?
Yes, I think I absolutely have. It's pretty cool. It's interesting. I shouldn't say it's cool because it's about something that's really serious and dangerous. It's interesting nonetheless.
Yes, and as you can see, the USA here is leading the world in reported cases. There's some debate whether or not that this is an actual accurate report, but this is just what I'm going from. And there's only really one thing that I look at on here, so I'm going to click on the USA here, and the thing that I look at first and foremost is I scroll all the way down here, Matt. I just keep scrolling and scrolling until I get to this chart right here. This is what
Yeah.
I'm most interested in right here. And it was actually Chad Murphy that turned me on to this and let me know about this. And this is what I believe he is looking at every day amongst other resources. Do not hold me to that this is Chad's Murphy's barometer for when they're going to make decisions in the United
Right.
Bowling Congress. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just telling you this is something that he turned me on to and I've been watching it. So as you can see here, when this thing started, it's been tracking since March the 10th. We had 290 cases of coronavirus here in the United States. And then it just gradually kept going up from there. And it started going up at a very rapid pace, 9,400 to 10,300, all the way to this 34,196 number. And what we're looking for here, Matt, is we're looking for this number to stabilize and then start to come down.
Right.
And as you can see, we haven't had a day as high as April the 4th, which was 34,196 new cases reported. It's
Yep.
starting to level out a bit. And for the last 2 days, it's actually come down slightly, if you can tell here.
Yep.
Now, we don't know if that's going to continue, but I check this every single day. All right. Now, the next thing that I like to check is I like to go look in other countries that got this coronavirus before us. So, you go look at China, for instance. Okay. So we go over here, we look at China, and I want to look at the exact same chart, and I want to see what's happened over in China. So as you can see, obviously there was something probably not reported properly on this one day for this giant spike. So I eliminate that. But as you can see, it went up and it started to come down. And look at what's happened the last few days. It's come
Yep.
down to not much of anything. Now, once again, is this accurately reported? I'm not sure.
Right.
But
Right.
if we go and we look and let's just take Italy. That's another big one that got hit pretty hard with this. So if we go down here, did I click United States again? There we go. That's my wonderful job of producing here. So let's click on I want Italy. I want Italy. There we go. It's loading up here on my second monitor. Okay, so we go and we look at Italy, and I want to go look at that exact same chart. And you see what's happened over in Italy. It went up and it started tailing off and it's kind of leveled off. But as you can see, the last few days it started to go back up again a little bit. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. So we'll go back to the US and to make a long story short here, I'm going to basically tell you my thoughts and my predictions on what I think is going to happen with coronavirus, which I'm totally not qualified to do by any means whatsoever. But I'm going to do it for you to try to help make an educated guess of how this is going to work. So it looks like my mouse got a little trigger happy here.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's got to be the mouse.
on
Can't be the operator.
me, nope, can't be me at all.
The mouse clicks
There's
itself.
USA. There's USA. So I'm gonna give you my prediction here. My if I was betting on this for some reason. Okay. So I believe we're gonna level off here, okay, till about the I don't know. Let's just take the 18th, okay? And let's say we begin our journey down starting on the 18th, right? Well, it takes about 30 days. It takes about 30 days to come up, right?
Mhm.
So if it takes 30 days to come down, right? We're looking somewhere like around mid-May that we come down from this. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's heading out to Texas Roadhouse and Olive Garden and
Right.
we're all back in the bowling centers and
Right.
opening day for Major League Baseball is here. That's not what I'm trying to say here, man. What I'm trying to say is I think around the 15th of May is when we're going to start seeing mainstream talking about when are we coming back? Because this thing's under control,
Right.
according to the numbers, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean it's under control
Right.
around May 15th. So I think we're going to start seeing NBA and MLB and maybe even the National Hockey League returning about 30 days after that window. So I'm thinking mid-June is when professional sports return. And that's about the same time that your restaurants are going to start opening back up and things like that. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Then bowling, I believe, is going to follow suit, and I believe that bowling is going to just follow what the NBA and the other sports are doing. So, in my opinion, Open Championships will start up July-ish, or they may take a safer route and go August because I know they just surveyed all the team captains and they said the show must go on. We will bowl as long as it's sometime this year. I think 60% or so said that. So I'm sure they're going to have an Open Championships. That's my guess. Again, it's my guess. Same with the women's championships. I think Junior Gold is in jeopardy, and I think Junior Gold's in jeopardy because I think it's the right thing to do. Would be to cancel Junior Gold. That's my opinion. And you know why that is, Matt?
Why?
Because imagine just how much of an economical impact this has had on families, right?
Yeah. Pretty tremendous.
And if I was in charge of Junior Gold, I wouldn't want the mom and dads out there to have to get any heat from their kids and be the bad guy. Um, and what I mean by that is imagine, Junior Gold goes on and the kid's all excited or multiple kids in a family and they say, "Hey, we're going to Vegas, right, mom and dad?" And mom and dad say, "That's not a good economical decision for our family
Right.
right now."
Right.
Well, then who looks like the bad guy? Mom and dad wouldn't let us go, and then the kids are watching it on Bowl TV, and they're at home, and they're upset they couldn't bowl. Um, Now, things might turn around faster. It's not my decision to make, but that's just my personal opinion on what I would do regarding Junior Gold. But the question was about the Lucy, the Striking Against Breast Cancer tournament. I would hope that tournament will go on, even if it has to be moved to another date. Um,
Yeah.
because it's such a good cause. That would be one of the first ones that I would try to make sure I get rescheduled
Right.
or keep an eye on. So
Right.
so that's what I kind of think about what's going on. And then I think the PBA Tour will have some decisions to make on when they want to start back up again. I don't really have much of a total inside scoop or understanding of when that might be, but just again, I think around May 15th we're going to start talking about these things, and I think 30 days later we'll start seeing some professional sports, which would put me no later than August 1st would be the PBA Tour kicking back up. Again, totally my opinion. Could be
Right.
completely wrong. Don't know anything about coronavirus, and I don't believe any of the mainstream media does as well. But
Right.
hopefully that was a little bit helpful in answering your question on a timeline of when bowling could return.
Yeah, I think that knowing you, Mike, you tend to be pretty accurate about your predictions. And again, who knows? Like this could be that could be the scenario, and there could be also the scenario that we're waiting until 2021 for sports to return, and it's or events could be totally changed. The simple fact is that the world is going to be changed forever. after this whole coronavirus situation is done, not only because of the lives that have been lost to this, just the way that we're going to live our lives and how we, how we go about our days, and how we basically, how we go through our daily activities, everything's going to change. So it, again, we hope that all of the bowling action and all of just sports in general will be coming back, and life will be coming back to normal sooner rather than later. It'll just be really interesting to see when that will all unfold and how this all carries out. So
Yeah, I gave my breakdown and put myself out there today, Matt, and
yeah.
I'm sure that people are going to light me up and say this guy's giving an opinion about something he knows nothing about. So I think it's your turn to give your prediction. So I'm just not thrown under the bus by myself, and we're both flat Stanleys laying on the contract.
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing to remember for everybody is that just because it's under control doesn't mean that we can all just fire away and go back to normal like everything was. There is a lot of talk about there. Again, I'm not qualified to speak about this for in any way.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah,
right. But there is a potential, for like a second spike in the disease. And so when we all go back out into public, that's, we all become susceptible to the virus once again, and that is a possibility. So I think it's important to remember that even though it may all be under control, there's still a lot of precautions that we need to take to make sure that everybody stays safe, stays healthy. So even when you do see that things are coming back to normal or more normal than they were, it's important to have patience with the organizations like the PBA, like the USBC, like the TNBA, like the UBA. It's important to have patience with all these organizations to get their events back on track, because it's really just a guessing game, and everybody's health is the priority here. And bowling tournaments attract a lot of people. They're in a very close proximity to one another. There are fans there. There's interaction. And so there's a lot that goes into making these decisions, especially for big events like Junior Gold, like the Open Championships, potentially like, who knows, like Team USA trials, like the Lucy. The Lucy attracts an incredible amount of people from a very, very, very diverse number of cities. It's people from all around the country, all around the world. So it's important that us as the bowling industry does our part to make sure that we're being safe and we're putting everybody's health and safety in front of just the actual bowling itself.
Yeah, back to Junior Goal. We've had this comment up on the screen for a little bit. Sean Shelton says, not to mention some parents have had to use their vacation.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great point.
Funds available. So
yeah.
That's another reason why I think, you got to pull the plug on Junior Gold. But if the USBC keeps it going, that's going to be their deal, and they'll run a tournament. And maybe people would disagree with me and say, well, how could you take away an opportunity for kids when they've only got so many years to do this, Mike? You're crazy. Let those go that can, and those that can't just have to get over it. So I completely understand that take.
Yeah, it's a tricky scenario. It's a tricky situation without question. And I think again, it's just important for everybody to just be patient, and the more appropriately we treat it now, the better off we'll be in the long run. If we try to fire away and go back to life as it was too quickly, it could actually sideline us for longer than if we were to just treat it appropriately and respect the precautions that we need to take right now, and then go about it the proper way in the near future. So it'll be an interesting time. It's just a weird, interesting time. I think everybody is kind of strange. I think it's been it's been a month now, really, where we've kind of been on this quarantine routine. Everybody's kind of going crazy. I know I want to get out on the lanes. I want to travel. I want to go back to life as normal. And it's just, it's difficult to sit here and be patient, but unfortunately it's one of the things that we have to do to make sure that we are safe and we're healthy.
Yeah, and if you have any questions for us that you want us to answer, you can type those in either on YouTube or on Facebook. We're simulcasting today on the Inside Bowling YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, please do.
Yep.
I've got a few things I do want to talk about that are kind of new, that are coming up. Some breaking news from the Inside Bowling camp, and I know that we're not all that big over here at Inside Bowling, but we do have some different cool things coming up here this week. So Matt, the first thing I want to talk about, and I want to get your reaction to this.
All right, give it to me.
A project we've been working on since February, which involves a coach from close to your neck of the woods.
Yep.
So tell everybody a little bit about what we're going to be doing, and we're going to launch the first one this Wednesday.
Yeah, this Wednesday is the big day. We linked up with the one and only Coach Mike Shady, and Mike Shady was kind enough to collaborate with us on some educational videos out there for all of the bowlers. And the intention was to start this along with the start of the Open Championships. And really, of course, all these videos can be taken as a way to improve your bowling game in every respect, right? You know, what's going to make you better at the Open Championships is also going to make you better at league. It's also going to make you better in your tournaments in your local areas or your city tournaments. So we're really excited to launch that series with Coach Mike Shady, who does an incredible job of breaking down the physical game, adding in some mental components, showing you drills and exercise that you can do. We're going to launch one a week, right? It's going to be about one. It's going to be one a week on YouTube, and it's going to be a really cool way for us to try to give back to everybody, especially in this crazy, strange time. It's going to be a really great way for us to give back and to link up with a very knowledgeable assistant coach for Junior Team USA. The guy really he's the all-time average record holder, right, at the Open Championships.
Yeah, he is. As a matter of fact, I'll try to get that up on the screen here as we talk about this. And what's funny, everybody, is Matt had no idea I was going to throw that to him, and he just
no. But I gotta say, I think I don't know if I hit a home run on that one, but I think I at least hit a double on that. So that
you did.
Yeah.
The reason why this is the week that we're going to launch it is because he is going to be going on Matt Cantanazero and Daniel Farish's Open Championships podcast over on Bowl TV /YouTube/Facebook. So Shades is going to be on there. I believe Wednesday, is his day to be on. And that's the day we're going to launch our content with Shady. We thought it was a good, perfect opportunity. He's going to promote it a little bit here. So Matt, if you don't mind killing a little bit of time here for us, talking to the folks while I look this up over here on
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think wow, I did that kind of well. Mike's gonna go out and look for some stuff here. Let's go through here. And check out some questions that we've got rolling through here in the comments. Let's go through and see. When will the tour? Donald coming off the top ropes. When will the tour come back to New Orleans? Who knows? The tour is always expanding. They just added a couple of new teams to the PBA league. And so that's good. That's a really cool opportunity for more athletes to become a part of a really cool experience PBA league. Who knows? Maybe New Orleans will get a team in the future. Maybe that will be a thing. Who knows? I'm totally, again, this is not any knowledge that anybody else doesn't have. This is just me talking off the top of that. Oh man. All right. I've got an important question here. Brian O'Keefe, Matt, how many chocolate chip cookies can you eat in one sitting? So for those of you that don't know, I spent two amazing years with Brian O'Keefe and Shannon O'Keefe at McKendree University. We accomplished a lot of really cool things. It was an incredible experience to be a part of the McKendree dynasty, really, and to be a Bearcat. And Brian, and I actually live with Brian and Shannon. And one night, Brian and I got to talking, as we do, about ridiculous things. And one of those things was I told Brian about how many fresh baked chocolate chip cookies I think I could eat. And I think that I honestly think I could probably eat in one sitting. I could probably eat about like 70 fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. And Brian's, I know he's cracking up right now listening to this. Oh man. And now they're both watching together. How many Reese's peanut butter cup eggs did I eat yesterday? I didn't eat a lot yesterday. Actually, I got a bunch though. So I'm definitely going to be stocking up. Appreciate shout out to Brian and Shannon. Joey Price, best one-hander on tour. I think the best one-hander on tour, and I think Mike will agree with me on this one. I think the best one-hander on tour is Chris Prather. I think that right now, when it comes to the best one-handers on tour, you've got a lot of really talented players. You've got EJ Tackett. You've got, I think, based off of right now, if I had to pick one-hander on tour to bowl for me for $1 million, I would be, and I don't even care what the lane pattern is. I think that Chris Prather is the best one-hander in the world right now.
I got Tackett, man.
Look, it's really like it's when you get to that level, it really is just like, honestly, who just has a better day, because they're pretty much, they're at the same skill level. They're two of the best in the world, undoubtedly. I just think right now, in terms of what's happened over the course of the past 4 or 5 months in bowling, I think I would take Chris Prather. I honestly do.
EJ Tackett has 13 titles on tour.
That's true, but by that logic, Walter has how many? And I would take EJ or Chris over Walter right now, just because they're better bowlers at this moment in time. So it's no disrespect to EJ; he's one of the best in the world, and there's not a doubt about that. Nobody can debate whether or not EJ is one of the best bowlers in the world.
EJ Tackett is 27 years old and has 13 titles.
It's incredible, no doubt.
If he keeps up this pace until he's 40, he's going to have somewhere around 40 titles.
I think that I think EJ is one of the best in the world. There's no doubt about it. I just think that Chris right now is the best one-hander on tour.
I'm looking up.
And we've got
the right. It's a little weird. But.
We've got another superstar here, Mike. Linda Barnes. She says she'll pick Shannon. And if we're talking female bowlers, I will too. I think that she's not wrong there. I mean, Shannon's probably the best spare shooter in the world, guys, girls, whoever. And that may be a bold statement to make, and I may be biased there. But I think that is true. Does Brad Miller win a title in 2021? Wow, that's a great question. I think he does. I do. I think by the end of 2021, Brad Miller will have his first title without a doubt. I'm a big Brad Miller guy. Brad Miller was my favorite bowler, my favorite professional bowler before he became popular. Brad and I bowled the Open Championships together. My first year that we bowled it together in Reno. I can't even remember how many years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I just always, become closer with Brad over the years, and they become partners. Brad and Kyle are partners of Inside Bowling, and we collab together and we do some work together. So I'm a big Brad Miller guy. I think Brad Miller will certainly have at least one title by the end of 2021.
Yeah. So real quick, I looked up Belmo, 24 titles, and Belmo is now 36. So Belmo's 36 years old, 24 titles. And then EJ is 27 years old with 13 titles. So here's the question. Will EJ Tackett have more or less titles than Belmo at age 36? In 9 years, will EJ Tackett get to 24 titles?
I mean, yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I don't think EJ is going to be going away anytime soon. I think that he's certainly going to win plenty of titles, and there's a good chance that he could do that. Now, at the same time, does that mean that I don't think that Chris Prather is the best one-handed bowler in the world? I do. I think that Chris Prather is the best one-handed bowler in the world. And I mean, we were talking about it last night. Chris Prather leads any split on television, and it seems like he's got a 95% chance to pick it. He is as versatile as they come. And again, this is no disrespect to any one-hander out there, EJ or anybody else. Like, Chris Prather is undoubtedly one of, if not the best one-hand bowlers in the world. And I think that, it's not like I'm saying, like, who's the best one-hander on tour? It's me. Like, no, it's Chris Prather. And I think that's a very reasonable choice.
So Linda has been sending in some comments. She's got the "We miss you" up here.
Oh, I lived. Look, one of the coolest things that I've done, my biggest accomplishment.
Do you think she misses you or misses me?
Well, considering the fact that I lived with the Barneses for 3 months when I interned at USBC while I was at McKendree, I think I'm going with me. And she also asked, did we shoot hoops lately? I have not, unfortunately. However, for those that don't know, Chris Barnes can hoop. There are a couple of PBA athletes out there that can actually hoop, and Barney is one of them. Barney was an all-state basketball player, I think, in high school, and he can actually hoop. Oh, Barney's here. He says definitely, Matt. He approves.
Yeah, I think we both try to put that up at the same time. Because we're dual producing here. So that leads me to the next thing here. Since we do have Barnes and Barnes in here. I don't know if Stu's going to join or not at any point in time, but their show they're doing over there on their pages, and they just created a new page. It's the Beef and Barnes show, or Barnesy, or I can't remember exactly.
Beef and Barnesy, I think it is. Yeah, whatever it is that it's called, it's awesome.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever.
But anyway, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're doing their show at 3:00 Central. Make sure you check it out. They just launched a new Facebook page because having their own fan pages wasn't good enough for them. So now they got to have a show page. I think
they figured why not? Why have 2 pages of 10,000 apiece? We'll just combine it. And we'll have 20,000. It looks that much better.
So anyway, so they're doing their show today, and I want to talk here. They're going to be doing another mock draft later this week, and I don't think that they've released that to anybody. And I think to the 7 people that are watching our show, but so they're doing this mock draft again. They did a great job on one last week, and I've been invited to draft in this thing. Okay,
why they would pick you?
I don't have any idea. No idea why they would pick me.
Mike works on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah,
you're going to be alongside. You know, where I don't want to say, but you're going to be alongside some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah, if Chris wants to type in who else is going to be on this, and
that's not for us to break.
No, if he types it in here, I'll talk about it. If he doesn't type it in, then I'm not going to talk about it.
Right.
But I will say that I'm honored to be drafting. I'll be drafting 2 teams. I was given the draft order, and one of the people, I've got my phone right here. One of the other drafters has already sent me over this morning a trade proposal before the draft.
That's exciting stuff.
This person wants to know if I would be willing to make a trade, and he wants to dish me 2 people for one of the expansion teams that I'm going to be drafting for my first 2 picks. He wants to give me two of his solid locked picks.
Wow. And we have breaking news here. Chris Barnes typed it in. Let him know.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at these people that Mike is going to be alongside. Mike, I love you, man, but you have no business being there.
So here's what's funny, right? I'm going to be drafting 2 teams. Jeff Goodger is going to be drafting 2 teams. Chad Murphy is drafting a team, and that's the gentleman that sent me over a trade proposal this morning was Chad. And Mookie Betts. So trust me, I'm going to get a t-shirt made with all my Instagram and Inside Bowling and all the following all over it, because there's going to be so many people watching this thing that I'm going to be Johnny trying to get everything.
Johnny Plug.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Plug, man. That's awesome.
You know that green screen I pulled out when we were testing?
Oh, no, you're bringing out the green screen?
Screen behind me, and I'm going to spend like $500 on a graphic artist to build everything that I need behind me. I do think I'm going to have the best audio on the show, though, with this mic.
I think this is it. Like, you know, you've got Jeff Goodger, you've got Chad Murphy, Mookie Betts, three superstars, really, all in their own respects. And then Mike, also a superstar in his own respect. Different, though. I think you've got to make up for your lack of star power, so to say, with the technology. You know, you've got to figure out how to get that camera hooked up, because honestly, there exactly, just like that. You need to casually sip the tumbler. Yep, sip it. We got a good question here, and I want to throw this to you. Would Mike Fagan be a Hall of Famer if he stayed on tour?
Yes, he would.
Undoubtedly, I have to agree. Shockingly, I agree with you on something here, but I think that would be a no-brainer.
Definitely. And how about that other question that came up from Rick Gooden a little while ago? You had it up for a second, and then we got sidetracked, but we'll get to that question.
Yep. Let's throw this up there. Do you think the PBA sets patterns for some bowlers? Man,
no, I don't think.
No. I think certain bowlers match up on certain patterns? Without a doubt, right? You know, certain bowlers are going to bowl better on certain patterns and match up. But do I think that they sit there and they make patterns specifically for one player to succeed or another player to succeed? I don't think that they intentionally, design a pattern for one or two or a certain set of bowlers. Chris Barnes coming off the top ropes in the chat. That's grumpy, funny Barnes right there.
What did he say?
He said yes. Well, that's what happens when Tommy Jones beats you to 20, right?
Yeah.
Or no. Who beat who?
Tommy beat him.
Yeah. Barney's still sitting at 19, right?
Yeah. Chris hugged him on the approach, though.
That's what I'm saying. I got all messed up, but for some reason I was like imagining the commentators saying Tommy's finally at 20. Now he clarifies. You see, Barnes, when we're rapid firing through questions here, we need a little bit more clarification. I don't want to misquote you like that now.
Yeah, because now here comes
Here comes the frenzy. Backpedaling.
Yeah. Just text Chris Barnes, you've been fined. That happened with another bowler. That happened with another bowler where they talked on his show about oil patterns and
Oh yeah, mishaps. Yeah, so let's clarify here. Chris Barnes is not saying that they cater patterns to certain bowlers.
Breaking news. Matt Farber no longer friends with Chris Barnes, and then we miss you, Mike. We miss you, Mike. You've never been to our house.
To be fair, Chris Barnes also gave me the nickname Homeless Ed because when I was living with them while working at USBC, he kept calling me Homeless Ed. So I think that I could throw a couple jabs back at him here.
So I believe this draft is Friday, is from what I understand.
That's going to be exciting. Their last one was really good, really well done. The last one, they had Bill O'Neill on it. They had Tom Clark on there. Stu was obviously on there. Barney was on there. Linda was helping out, actually writing everything down. It was a full team effort, and they did it. They did a really, really great job on that. So shout out to them. If you guys are all three people that are watching here, make sure you guys go check that out this week.
We're up to 4 viewers now, Matt.
I think we're smashing them right now in terms of live streaming here.
So to the 4 people that are watching, Linda Barnes, Chris Barnes, Scott Hewenick, and my girlfriend Kim Richter,
who's in the other room.
Yeah. So who should we have on the show? I reached out to one person already. I did it at like 1 a.m. last night Mountain Time. They read it this morning and haven't responded yet to be on the show for tomorrow. But who do you think we should have on the show? That's what we want to know. So let us know in the comments. Let's see. Chris Barnes here with a typo. He's gonna have a PGA.
Oh, I'm taking
draft.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like I'm gonna have to learn about golf.
I was gonna say you might take EJ Tackett then. That's a much better choice than Chris Prather, no doubt.
He and Ronnie Russell. That'll be the first 2 picks.
Superstar team. Yeah. That's funny. Let's throw a curveball here at you, Mike. All right. Yeah. I want you to draft your 5-person PBA basketball game team. Okay, so you gotta pick 5 people to put together here for a basketball lineup that you're throwing into like a 5-person tournament.
Who's the tallest bowler on tour?
Tallest bowler on tour. I could tell you who the most athletic bowler on tour is. The tallest, I don't know.
Is it Jesper?
He might be. I mean,
see, my basketball team starts with a big man. I need a big man under the hoop that all these small guys that can't shoot can just throw it to that dude who's taller than everybody else.
Yeah. See, you're an old school guy. I'm thinking the opposite. I want a bunch of quick, smaller guys that can shoot the ball.
I don't know anybody's shooting skills, but
Larry Harris, Cameron Doyle, he might be the tallest bowler. Greg Young also. I know Cam and Greg are like 6'3", 6'4". So I know for a fact I'm throwing Chris Vi on my roster. I've seen him hoop.
I did see a video recently with him.
Yeah, and one of Brad and Kyle's YouTube video, he did it. Granted, it was on like a 7-foot hoop, but the athleticism is there. He can dunk on a full-size hoop too.
One of the pretty good. One of the Tangs is pretty good.
And I would also throw Kevin Williams. He actually was going to go to college to play basketball. And Mike, that brings up a good thought. Did you happen to see his music video?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. So, Matt, if you wouldn't mind, could you bring it up and we'll play it? And can you get the audio also? We'll go ahead and use the audio from it as well.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it and I'll set it up while you're working on that. So Matt's working on bringing up a video here. This is our first show, just the beginning of what we're doing Monday through Friday. We're going to be doing this. Our time slot's going to be 11 o'clock Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's the 2 time zones that we're in. But Kevin Williams dropped a really cool video. It's like a trip video. He did that yesterday, and we want to promote it here, and we want to play it here for you. What are you laughing at over there?
Chris Barnes just throwing shots at Cameron. He said Cameron's sports abilities end at bowling. So let's throw this up. I've got the video here, Mike. If you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's share my screen here.
You can do this, yeah, and then it just pops up randomly automatically here. But you
Yep,
have
no, we'll be good. We've got this.
audio too and everything.
Yep, audio shared.
Okay, everybody. So we want you to go subscribe to Kevin Williams' YouTube channel. We want you to go follow Kevin Williams Bowler Artist, I believe it's called, on Facebook. But we really like this video, and we're gonna play it, and then we're gonna react to it while it's coming up here. So let's take a look at this. What do you know the name of it? Oh, Quarantine Trick Shots, and he's got a song to it as well. Let's play this thing, Matt. I'm ready to go.
All right. Let me know. Make sure the audio's coming through. Audio's good.
Look at this. Watch this. Watch this.
Said this industry has been ignoring me. Like they put my music in a quarantine. Rappers, all you rappers really boring me. Know there's more from me. Don't go shopping to see what's more from me. I don't play, I get paid to coach. I stick to the code. If they don't, then they gotta go. Kick them out the door. You the code. Every time you flow, that's just what I'm told. Every show and it don't get old. Boy, that's how it goes. Spitting facts, keep the heat attached. Bringing cash, it helps me relax. That's right. Right. Dan the slaps every single track. She say run it back. She keeps coming back. Had to check my schedule. Damn, I'm just booked up for the season. It sound like an excuse, but that really is the reason. Working early mornings, overtime, and through the evening. Catch a flight right before the weekend. They don't tell them where I'm leaving. That this industry has been ignoring me.
See, this is what I'm saying. Kevin Williams is a hooper, man. He's a hooper.
Rappers, all you rappers really boring me. Know there's more from me. Don't go shopping to see what's in store for me. Time is money, so my watch is like a safe. I got a drive that will put me in a race. I'm not picky, I love girls. Still I'm focused,
I don't
you can
know.
see it in my face.
Tries.
Promise that I'm here to stay. I got traffic, but it isn't in the way. I ain't trapping, I ain't average, what you think? Watch them surfing off my wave. Don't be crashing, can't imagine how that tastes. See, we hungry like we got an empty plate. Boy, I promise that we straight. Too much bread, got the birds on me. I did not care who you heard I be. How much do you need your ID? Thinking I stand it, bringing it down.
It's his sister Reagan.
Don't you approach me within seconds. Kevin, he put that curve on me. No, I don't care about your feelings. I'd be damned if it were different. I'm in the game, you in the stands. I don't want grands, I want those millions. Oh, when you down about the kid, change your stance within 2 minutes. No, you didn't know the name? Boys, Kevin Williams gone. Sad this industry has been ignoring me.
This is a cool one.
Like they put my music in the quarantine. Rappers, all you rappers really boring me. No, shopping to see what's in store for me. Sad this industry has been ignoring me. Like they put my music in a quarantine.
Fuck it. He's a hooper, man. I'm telling you guys. Kevin Williams is a hooper.
Don't go shopping to see what's in store for me.
Awesome.
Nice. Very, very nice, Kevin.
Love it. Love it.
Very, very nice, Matt. Way to bring that in. So go follow Kevin Williams. That would have taken me all of my 40s to do that.
Just like Dude Perfect. Wow, you see my life?
You want to bring up another video that dropped today over on YouTube?
Yeah. What are you feeling, Mikey?
The Kyle Sherman backyard smack.
Oh yeah,
stuff. Let's not play the whole thing. Let's just play a little bit of it. If you can bring that up.
Yep.
But anyway, we're here to let people know about cool stuff that's going on at bowling. And Kevin Williams, he's a talented bowler. He's a talented musician, and he has yet to have anything blow up. And I think that ping pong ball into the Red Solo Cup. With a new song and a bowling center at Enterprise Park Lanes down there in Springfield. I think
if you guys ever go to Bowl the Ozarks, you can go meet up with Kevin.
Yeah, and you can you know what? If you're gonna go bowl Greater Ozarks, take a ping pong ball and a Red Solo Cup with you, and do a TikTok or something like that.
He should be getting on TikTok for sure. I've got this Brad and Kyle Destruction video. You want me to throw it up here?
Yeah, and you're probably gonna want to hit play because it's probably gonna play an ad.
No, yeah, I got through the ads already.
Oh, you did? Look at this guy. It's unbelievable. You're having a great first show.
I would give this probably like an A-, B+.
Yeah, I mean, I expected A plus with the motivational messaging that you're doing, but you know, we'll have a post show meeting just like we had that. I mean, this morning, guys, I was up at 6 a.m. We pre-planned for this show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Mountain time. So hopefully you guys are enjoying all the time and the work we're putting into this thing. Are you ready?
And just so you know, Mike is completely lying. He's lying about every his face. Your face just now. Yeah. Yeah, no, we did plan. I mean, guys, this took 2 weeks of planning here. This took a lot of it.
It did take 2 weeks of planning and testing. My name on here was I Hate Wirecast. Because I was committed to Wirecast and Zoom to do this, and then I got turned on to this platform here. So,
yeah. All right, so let's show this Kyle Sherman this destruction video here.
Brad and Kyle YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of it, where have you been? You must have been.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you haven't heard of it, then are you really even here?
Yeah, but he got this video today. It's an awesome video. So here, let's take a look at
it. We got a bunch of destructible objects, and we're gonna see how the bowling ball does against these objects. I got the boys with me back here, guys. You ready to do this? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Let's go.
All right, let's get to the destruction here. Let's enough with the pretty stuff. I want to get to the destruction here.
Yeah, he got that monitor there. And this guy here, he's new to the channel. This guy, he's rocking the mullet, and this guy is a maniac. This guy this is my new favorite character on Brad and Kyle. This guy.
Yeah, he needs to join the house.
The animal.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
no! Not shy rat. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah.
Thermal's wine cellar coming up. That's a cool one.
Let's go.
That's the best one right there. Okay. If you want to watch the rest of this video, just head over to Brad and Kyle's YouTube channel, and you can watch the rest of that video. But it's a really well put together video, and I hope it takes off and does really well.
It's a cool video. Oh my, the mullet, right? That was a mullet. That was a mullet right there.
Yeah, and that dude, he smashes a pumpkin between his legs.
Watermelon.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, watermelon. Here's the problem, Matt. Here's the problem. I'm 40 years old now.
You can't make this. You said Mike made the excuse. Yeah, man, I'm too old for this stuff. I can't figure out all the streaming stuff. I'm pretty sure Barney is older than you are. Not a shot at Barney, but just giving Barney props here and take away the age excuse.
This was for the misspeaking of the pumpkin.
Okay.
Okay. Is when I think of smashing, and because I'm 40 years old and I grew up in high school, the grunge era of alternative music, whenever I hear the word smashing and then you have to throw some sort of fruit or vegetable with it, it's always pumpkin.
Okay.
Pumpkins. Okay. So when I hear smashing and I think about that, I think of pumpkins, and it's just because I'm 40 years old and my brain doesn't work like it used to. And it's like a screensaver. Older people have screensavers burnt into their minds that when they say certain words, the next word just comes right after it. So
it's fine. I'll give you that. I'll give you that excuse.
Thank you. Because I think it works. I think I'm selling this one.
You did it. You did a good job there. You were well put together on that one.
I am experiencing for the last 2 years short-term memory loss.
That's pretty sad. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's just sad.
So let me tell you. So this is the kind of stuff that happens to me, Matt, and I'm not kidding. Okay. So I was yesterday, for instance, I was thinking about some of my colleagues that worked at Ebonite International.
Yep.
I was kind of having this, where are they now? Kind of thought process in my mind. Like, I wonder what Sean Morris is up to. He's working at Classic. I wonder how he's doing. I saw Mike. I think what got me to think about all this is Mike Judy posted a photo that he was out playing golf, self-quarantining. And I thought, oh man, I need to check and see what the junior gold coordinator girl is doing now. I haven't checked out and see what's going on with her. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Facebook and I'm gonna type in her name and think about and try to figure out what she's doing. And it took me about 90 seconds to think of her name. I'm serious. And that is no slam to Carly Evans, because I clearly know her name.
Of course.
It's not because I forgot about Carly Evans.
No, this is just
short-term memory loss, man.
Right.
It's just happening to me. And anyway, I guess she's the brand manager over at Cool Wick now.
That's cool. Good opportunity
Yeah.
for her.
So I went and looked at like Cool Wick social media and stuff. And obviously there's been an uptick since she took the job around the first year, I believe. She's doing a great job. So I'm sorry for forgetting her name. But it's just I'm experiencing things like that. I tell Kim all the time, I'll walk upstairs. Like yesterday, I emptied Monday's garbage day around here, and I grabbed the trash can out of my office. I grabbed the bag and took it upstairs, and I took it out to the trash. And I said, I'm gonna bring my tumbler with some tea in it downstairs, and don't forget the trash bag, Mike. Bring the trash bag down. Do you know I came all the way down here and didn't bring the trash bag? And I had 2 other trips northbound to the upstairs. And I went to, and every time I said, okay, bring the trash bag this time. By the time I went upstairs, did what I was doing and prepared whatever I was doing and got distracted by the dog or whatever it was, that trash bag didn't get put in this thing down here until I had to make a separate trip and just go up and get it. So getting old sucks, dude. It's not good at all.
I can imagine. We've got a good comment here from Fred McGee, excuse me. Matt, Mike, we didn't intro with the one more time today. I know. The damn copyright, man. We're trying to tread lightly here with what songs we use and whatnot. But last night when we tested, we played One More Time by Daft Punk. If you've never heard it, or you've heard it and you've never seen the music video, or even if you've heard it and seen the music video, go check it out. It's a good way to.
It's my favorite music video of all time, and we did play it. And then Facebook came up and said, your video has been blocked in 240 countries. And YouTube sent me a notification, said your YouTube video has been blocked in this many countries and all these different issues. So we can't play any mainstream music here. We were also testing Spotify last night after we were done with our
friend Federica.
Oh yeah, he's always on the streams.
Always. What's going on?
Yeah, so we said we'd go live for an hour. We've got about 2 minutes left on the show today. Hopefully, everybody really enjoyed their time with us today. This is kind of how this thing's going to flow. If you're looking for just in-depth, nothing but bowling talk, this probably isn't the show for you. It's more like Matt and I having an opportunity to have a public conversation with people. And we're going to bring guests onto the show as well. I am efforting for tomorrow's guest. We'll have a good one for you tomorrow. I promise you. We will. Pretty good Rolodex. And we do want to have Barnes and Stu on as well at some point. We want them to be able to promote their show. And we want to get a few shows under our belt so they can give us some pointers, since they've been doing this for about 1,000% more than we have. So
yep.
I will like to say, and one of the things I do want to talk about Barnes about is when he interviewed Duke, he said he actually said out loud, it was one of the most nervous times he's had since the first time he did television. And I thought that was interesting and cool at the same time. The first time I did a podcast radio show, I said the exact thing when I opened. I said, welcome to the Inside Bowling podcast show. I'm Mike Flanagan. I was with Doug Lakey. And I said, Doug, I'm kind of nervous right now. It's the exact same thing that I said.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Mike, I got a great question here. And I think this is a good way to go out.
Okay.
Difficult discussion to have. We're probably going to disagree. But Joey Price, best woman bowler of all time. I have either Lisa Wagner or Liz.
Yeah. So for me, I didn't watch women's bowling on a regular basis when Lisa Wagner was at the top of her game. So, right now I would kind of sort of have to lean towards Liz just because I've seen her do more. And during the time that there was no women's tour, Liz was bowling all these men's events like Grand Boot Hills, Proprietor Cups. She bowled my IB Open. She bowled New Mexico Open. She bowled Bud Light Challenge and had a lot of success. Liz is she's got more PBA telecasts than any other female bowler. She's made multiple shows.
Yep.
So Kelly Kulick always gets all the glory. Awesome bowler. Congratulations on what she did, winning a major, the tournament of
Yep.
champions, with the Red Mission, which
Yeah,
is
that was a cool show.
goes down in history, and Barnes knows that firsthand, of course.
Right.
The most interesting and funny part of that show, and this is a little, this could be taken a couple different ways, but I just want to mention it, is when she handed her mom
Yep.
the trophy. And I believe, I mean, if I believe, and this is debatable, you have to go watch this yourself, but I believe she said, I'll use it as an ashtray, is what I think.
So I think, yeah, I think the common thought is that she says, I'll make an ashtray out of it. And I can't remember, but I know Kelly made a post one day
Addressing
about her bowling or something, and she referenced that as a joke. I can't remember if she referenced it as if it was true or referenced it as if it was like misheard by everybody. I can't remember what she said, but she did reference it in one post, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago. I don't really remember. But yeah,
I think it's awesome because my parents were both smokers, and if I ever won some big cup like that, and I had an older parent, I identified with it because my parent would have probably said that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was
Barney throwing some other names in the mix here.
Yeah, Donna Adamek. She always had like 27 devices.
Yeah, CDB. I mean,
yeah, CDB had the best run over a period of time.
Yeah, Wendy McPherson, revolutionary.
She went over to Japan and won so much money bowling in Japan. Kelly, of course, was won at every level.
And making a good, interesting point here, Shannon will keep putting herself in the mix. I agree. You know, I think we've had this discussion before, and I think the difference now is, you know, is there enough? Are there enough events to be able to catch up in terms of number of titles? And I think that, you know, unfortunately for a lot of great female bowlers, they missed like a really big portion of their career where there weren't those events to bowl. And shout out to USBC for bringing back the PWBA and for giving the ladies the events that they deserve to bowl. And I think that when you're talking, you know, you talked about, you know, having a dominant period of time, like CDB being super dominant. I think you have to include Shannon O'Keefe in that mix as well. Since the PBA tour has started back up, I don't remember the exact number. I could look it up here. I think it's at like 10 titles she's won. You know, she's I mean, she's had without a doubt a dominant stretch here where she has been one of, if not the best female bowler on the planet. And yeah, I think exactly, you know, Eric is saying Liz missed her prime. I think that there are a lot of people that you could potentially say that about just because they didn't have the events to bowl.
Yeah, we could go on and on here discussing all these topics. We do want to end the show. I do want to give a shout out to Eric Pollock, who did just send in that message. We saw your other message as well. Great show, Mike. Appreciate it, Eric. Make sure you spread the word. Let people know that we're doing this. We really enjoy talking bowling and just talking about things in general and sharpening the saw of sitting in a booth, so to speak, when there's no bowling to be going on. Eric Pollock, a Wichita State Shocker alum and a collegiate national champion, Eric Pollock. And somebody who's been a friend of mine for a long time. So shout out to you, Eric. And
shout out to you, Eric. Thanks for tuning in, man.
I think that's going to do it for today's show, brother. Want to thank you for watching. Thanks for the content. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock my time, Mountain Time, 1 o'clock Eastern. And we'll effort to still try to get a guest. If not, it'll just be me and you. But I'm pretty confident we're gonna be able to
get somebody. We'll get someone.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. For my sidekick partner who looks better than me and has a better MF name, I'm Mike Flanagan. Thanks for watching today's Inside Bowling Show. Everybody have a great, safe, healthy day, and continue to support all the bowling broadcasts that are out there. There's a lot of them these days, and thanks for giving us a shot. See you later.
See you, everybody.